On today's episode of Strike Gold,
we talk about how a solopreneur crushed an Apple event and now is featured on every App Store, Apple Store, and I think they actually do holidays together.
this is Jonathan Kahn and Roy Provarchik, and you're listening to Strike Gold. Today we have a special guest.
We have Genady Okrain sitting next to me.
I could never have gotten that name right. There's just no chance.
So by now, if you're listening to Strike Gold, you know that Jonathan can't say names. It's like
that's kind of
like literally. I think
I'm name dyslexic. Okay.
I will never forget. Our first guest was Ilana Foss, and he was like, "How do you say?"
Because it's with an A or an O. It was fast. It was fast.
But she said it out loud. Foss.
Yeah, but obviously her family's been making mistakes for years.
So we're here with Genady, who's the developer, founder, CEO, human of Momento. I'm not going to introduce anything. You're going to do it yourself because you're here.
Genady is Momento besides a really good movie.
Oh, that's true. Actually, you said a lot of titles, but the title that I like is Solopreneur.
Solopreneur. What do you like about the title Solopreneur?
CEO, it feels like it's too big of a title. Founder is
stuffy.
Not
right?
enough. I don't know. It's like like most of the work is shit, and you want to kind of say it in one word. So someone wrote it to me, and I started using it, and people like it.
Solopreneur.
Yeah, people started to use it.
Do you feel that it reflects more that all the shit and the struggle is really on you and not anybody? And
something like that.
Entrepreneur feels like you have a team and they're all suffering together.
Yeah.
Solopreneur is like I'm eating all that shit.
It's like I don't know.
I'm suffering.
I'm not sure who invented it, but someone emailed it to me and I started using it and people love it and.
Interesting. So you're a solopreneur. Before we even talk about Momento, you've done so many things in the past, so many cool things in the past. So tell us a little bit about yourself, like your background, where you come from.
So in the army actually I was doing a lot of communication stuff, mostly hardware, like planes and all those things. And after finishing the army, I started working at a company, it was similar things, and it was 2010, 11 when the iPhone only started, and I had some issues with my paycheck, I paid more tax than I should. I had a spreadsheet that I calculated it, and I found all the mistakes, and I thought, okay, probably more people have these issues. So I built an app, it's called iSachar.
iSachar, like iSalary, basically.
Yeah.
In English, it's like the equivalent is iSalary.
And people started downloading it and paying money, and it's been like a lot of feedbacks, and then I felt like I can do something at home, and I don't need expensive tools, I don't need to wait years. I ship it, just a button click, and people start using it, and they love it, they can reply, they can pay money, that's kind of interesting. Without it, it's kind of hard to, to do all those things.
Yeah, well, your money is
it's
essential.
Yeah, so I felt there is like something there. It was like 7 years ago, something like that. And I just kind of like left everything I was doing and moved to this area, like building apps.
So like for you, like the iPhone, the App Store was actually like the big starting point in your startup career.
Yeah,
okay.
you can like do something at home. You don't need expensive tools. You don't need. You can basically, at night hack something around without knowing too many things, and people will use it, and will get some feedback, and hopefully make money. But this is not.
And also, like 7-8 years ago, then the market was very small. Like you didn't have.
Yeah.
Like, how many apps are in the App Store now? Like 500,000, 500 billion.
Yeah, I think like 1 million.
Okay.
The interesting thing, it was like only in Hebrew, pretty ugly. I almost had no idea what I'm doing, but people used it and made money and enjoyed it, and I got feedback, and I remember like people actually like asked for features, and I thought, okay, if in Israel so many people like it and it's only early days of the iPhone, there's probably more into it and there's like big opportunity. I don't know if I thought about it, but that's kind of what
Yeah, that was like the mindset.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So after that, I started to kind of figure out what's the next step, what I'm doing, and I usually felt into like doing stuff related to, like most of the stuff was consumer, so it always fascinated me to work with real people, not companies, because it's like a different mindset. you care more about the product and less about the sales. So that's kind of always what I did. And somehow I always did things related to video and photo editing.
Right.
Somehow I discovered, I don't know how to call it, that I like photos and videos, and kind of, there is like, out of the million apps, it's like 900 are,
Video
1,000 hours
editing,
and video editing, but
image
still,
editing.
people take so many photos and do nothing with them. So I feel like there's so much potential and so much things you can do with photos.
Yeah.
So there is always opportunity for new stuff.
If we go back, because what I want to say most of you, but none of you know, is that we sat together in the same space, office space, about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4, I think. Yeah.
Right, with the guys from Jovi, from Safarel. So that's where we knew each other a little bit before that, but that's where we connected more, because we had more face-to-face time. And you actually, in your office right now, you have a wall with all different apps and companies you work.
Yeah.
There's I want to say 9 things there.
There are 9 or 10. It's actually all the app icons that I shipped or
right. So
or almost shipped.
Do you remember them all by heart? Which?
Of course, it's
they're all
my
babies.
babies. Yeah. But there are you want to talk about them or what?
I just I think some of them have some interesting stories. So just because, and also I think that one of the things that is important when you talk about, I think marketing and growth and knowledge is accumulated. So I think a lot of things you've done with previous products help you launch the first version of Momento even better. Let's recap on just a few of them.
So some interesting projects were parties for WWDC. So WWDC is the worldwide developer conference that Apple is doing once a year.
Okay.
And when I first now you need to win the lottery to buy a ticket. And the first time when I went there, I had no idea what's going on. And I heard that there's some events around, and I was thinking, how can I arrive to the conference and people will know who am I without being there ever? And I had some troubles to figure out what events should I register, how to find them, somewhere private. And I said, I can make an app to show all the events. Probably everyone will want to find it. And then I only need to say, okay, I built the app and people know me. That was kind of the mindset.
Yeah, if you're using this to find your parties, then...
Yeah. And it took, the first version took a weekend or a day or 2 to build. And there used to be a ugly website and ugly app that I don't know who... it was very, very poor and no one wanted to use it, but it was the only choice. So when people saw the new app, they started downloading it, and it actually worked. About 30% of the first year, people knew it, and it's been live only 2 or 3 weeks before. So people actually knew the app.
How did you distribute it? How did you...
How did you collect all the party information?
Just, you go to Eventbrite, you search, you look on the other apps, you kind of Twitter, I don't know. It's been a little bit hard in the first time. But in the last years, I just got emails from everyone.
Yeah, just
the thing is, in the last few years, they moved...
You do it every year? You still Okay.
So I have less and less time to do it, but now they moved the conference to San Jose, and there's almost... So in San Francisco, there are so many companies, they host the events in their HQ, but in San Jose there are none. Yeah. And there are only 2 pubs, so you can't do more than 10 parties the whole week.
It's
and Apple started to promote some
parties
too.
It's an RSVP app now with one
name.
Yeah,
exactly. No, but also I was just thinking that he just kind of made himself the party guy. That when you go to a wedding and there's the guy with the hat.
It is.
That one guy with the hat, and you're find the guy with the hat.
So
that's the guy who knows.
Some events, I arrived those are my friends, and they let everyone in, but it's a geek party. It was a Microsoft event. They give you I don't know, Microsoft shirts, and I'm
get
in front of the line.
There's less people inside the party than outside in the street.
So with time it's got more popular. Almost everyone is using it now, but it's less interesting because there are no so much events, and Apple is promoting the big ones. So it's not a big deal anymore. But many people that arrived first year to the conference found what to do and helped me. And I had people with to-do list, who to meet, and I must meet Genady because he helped me to meet all the other people around. So people actually, really cool. It helped people around the world. I have friends now from India, Italy, everywhere, China, Japan, everywhere, because
so the app was a really good networking opportunity in one of the hardest events that you can network with, basically.
Yeah. But it helped not only me, it helped basically everyone. That's kind of...
Because they have knew where to go together. They would have like, are you going to this event? Like
Yeah, I think
more conversation starters and more things they can do around.
Because if you arrive first time to the conference, you have no idea what's going on there. And if you register early before that, like, I don't know, 10 events, you know, oh, there's this event, I'll meet those guys. So it's kind of more...
Right. So this is like a very creative way of thinking, like, what should be my business card? Or like thinking of a situation where most people... I think most people would have just like researched LinkedIn probably a little bit and send like some emails or Twitter, and that would be it.
Yeah.
So this was just like a very creative way into how do I get attention and how do I give value first
because
through
if
what
you
I
give
do.
a business card, no one knows who you are.
Yeah, nobody cares.
This way, I rather people know what I did already. So this was kind of...
They already have
the
interest
mindset
in
was
you.
to be creative. Yeah, it's kind of... Eventually, by the way, the ugly apps and the website, they shut down.
Right.
They said they have like some reason, but we know the truth that no one uses them anymore because who needs a website to find the events? Like
if I remember correctly, you even had Apple employees using the app.
Yeah, there are so many Apple employees. So
Yeah, that's
I think that 1 year I checked how many hours from the campus, like it was like 100 hours of people using the app from Apple campus, something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So is there any other app you want to talk about before we go into Momento and the story?
I can tell that I've built. It's another story, but I lived for about a year in San Francisco, and I was commuting every day by train, and I was like thinking, Google Maps is too complicated. The other apps are like too simple. I want something only for the train, and there were a few, but not so good. Like it was mostly like projects that kids did or something. You know, like someone did the app and like forget about it. And I was like one of the most popular apps. I had like one of the most popular apps for the Caltrain. Mm-hmm. It's the train from San Francisco to Palo Alto, let's say. And like many people used it. It was like used, people loved it, good feedbacks. Eventually, it connects to what I said before. I discovered that I like more the photo stuff. And when Momento started growing, I had one for the Caltrain and I copied the one for Bart. You can like make multiple apps. Mm-hmm. And make some money of each but eventually the traffic in this kind of apps are limited,
right?
Because there are only like some amount of people that can drive the train every day, take a train. So eventually I sold those apps and kind of discovered that I want to focus only on photo and video. Mm-hmm. It took me a while to discover that this is my passion. And when it kind of made the life more simple because when I was doing like all those things, I was thinking, what should I do? Should I continue with that, with this? Should I make another app for another train? But when I noticed that I don't like it anymore, I just found a way to sell it. And
damn it! I was about to ask him, do you ride a bike?
I ride
because we really need an app for bike maps in this area.
A friend of mine used to
like it kind of pissing me off that I'm on Google Maps. You don't have a bike thing,
right?
Like so you do, but they don't have it here.
But is it like the street thing? Just
no, not where the cops now are looking for you all around.
But don't you just drive on the road?
Yeah, I do ride on the road, but sometimes I'll ride on the road and there's a bike path near it, and then a cop will be like, "Why are you not on the bike path?" I'm like, "What?
But
I don't know. I'm not gonna stop my ride on the road and then get on the sidewalk."
I think they're just bullying you.
I think I am being bullied.
You are being bullied.
God damn it! I get one ticket, man. One ticket.
Yeah, I think you just get paranoid.
I know. I feel like they're all around me now.
So there is like a space for like bikes in Tel Aviv. There are like a space for many of those apps, but eventually the market for each is so small.
It's tiny.
So you need to make a lot of those apps.
But I like that. Like there's this kind of consistency in the beginning, like of the apps that you said so far, where it's like I was taking the bus and I was like, I want to fix this.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like going to the event and I was like, I want to fix this.
Yeah.
And now you're like, wait, I'm kind of like, this was always like something that came to me and I fixed it. Now you're actually at this point in this story where you're about to say, Then I was like, I like this. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to that problem.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, so let's talk about Momento.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all,
not the movie.
To the people.
First of all, not the movie.
To the people who are listening and are still not familiar with the app, shame on you. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two. Like we had the name in the title. You should have gone and downloaded it first thing. That's weird.
Seriously.
So tell us a little bit, Momento. What is it?
I'll start a little bit before. So the funny thing is, I launched a similar app with the same concept. I think 2 years before Momento.
Yeah, I remember it.
And it was like a complete failure. I don't know, a complete failure is nice word about it. Because I recently like looked and it had something like, I don't know, 100 downloads, something like that. And it's funny because it's the same concept, different name, different product, different design.
No, the product was more complicated. I remember that.
Yeah, but eventually the thing is, it's kind of similar concept, but I relaunched
Do you remember
it.
the name? What was the name?
It was called Strobe.
Strobe, right.
Yeah.
100 more people are downloading it.
Yeah.
No, it's not available. Yeah, so that's kind of the funny story about Momento.
So what made you go back into an idea that you felt like already failed?
Oh, that's
and they
interesting.
say,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
what
you.
makes you do
Once
the
an
same thing
episode,
twice?
I have a good question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Roy, I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. And an Italian.
I knew I had a
Jersey
reason for
accent.
having you here.
It's like, one time an episode, I have a good question.
I got one of questions.
Yeah. So what made you go back to an
Yeah.
idea that failed and said, I'm going to revisit this one?
So I actually remember this day like very well. 2 years ago, after the conference that we talked before, and in the conference they announced like we're going to build to release all those new things. And from my point of view, it's good to support them at launch because you have all the people buying new phones and like trying those things out. Usually it's not that complicated to support most of the things. And I was sitting with a friend.
Like features. Like
Yeah.
you're
You're saying if
talking
the new
about
feature comes out, it's worth putting some time into developing
Yeah,
time
like
to...
being ready day one of the new iOS system that they release.
right.
It depends. Like sometimes it's like a lot of work and makes no sense.
Oh, okay.
But this will help you to get the early adopters of the new phones and maybe Apple employees to notice. So it's kind of
It's kind of like what Evernote did at the beginning, right? Like
Maybe.
Evernote biggest growth hack was that like they were the first to jump on any platform anyone developed. They were one of the first apps on the iPhone App Store and then on the Mac App Store, and they were even like I think they had a Windows Phone app. That's how deep they went into it.
As you said, Evernote, I feel like a little...
No,
gross. I really loved Evernote, and then they started keep asking me to make money, and I was just like, "Oh, come on, you're a notepad man. Calm down. You come with the phone." And then they kept asking, and then all of a sudden now I hear it, and I feel like a little bit of vomit in my mouth. All of a sudden.
It's one of the companies that I'm rooting for, even though I just
really?
find it hard. Yeah,
thank
I
you.
love it.
I'm on Apple Notes. I love it.
No, so Evernote is my number one blogging platform. That's where I write all my blogs.
Oh, really?
That's where I manage all my blogs and recipes as well. Yeah,
You mean like food recipes?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why
you can cook, Roy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, you can.
I'm cooking right now. Right now, you don't see it because it's a podcast, so you can just hear. This is bacon.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so going back to
Sorry.
Momento. Okay, so you basically you saw they were putting out new features.
they were releasing the iMessage apps.
Okay.
So this is basically a small window area that you can put something, then you click and it will send it to your I don't know,
Right.
friends that you're chatting with. And I was sitting with a friend, so it was actually like when I was moving back from San Francisco to Israel.
Mhm.
And I was thinking like, what should I do? I have like some free time, and I'm not sure if I'll go to work somewhere. What will I do? And what should I use? Like, which new feature should I kind of focus and like maybe build an app? And I don't know. Like, while I was asking this question, my friend, I figured, oh, I have this old app. It was very complicated. I can only take small part of it, put inside those iMessage apps that are very simple. And cheap, it probably will take me, I don't know, like a week, 2, 4 to make it perfect. And it's exactly, so now it was like, I don't know, in the middle of June. And usually the release time is around middle of September, so I have some time, I can take a vacation. So that's what I was thinking, like, let's see what happens. And I was thinking, so I think Strobe was like $1, and that's the same that I wanted to do. I thought like, oh, there are like probably a good amount of people that will pay $1 to try the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And probably no one will release anything cool enough to... People afraid that everyone will do it, but no one... usually like only a few developers support things
Right.
from the first day. And then I just like removed many of the things, wanted a new name. It's actually all the things that I built, I kind of somehow got better at product and kind of figuring out how to make things more simple. And somehow I managed to do it. Like
Take out features.
Yeah, I wasn't
stay with,
like
the
thinking
core.
about it, but now I understand it. It was like a process of me like figuring out, and I made it like very simple. It used to be like more complicated. Not too much. It was very similar, but then so I released it on 2016 around September, and actually it got a lot of people liked it. Like it started from
the iMessage.
it started from Apple promoting it, and until then
Apple promoting it.
Yeah.
So wait, you're just saying like it started with Apple promoting it.
Yeah, but
what do you mean?
Okay, so this actually I met there like some people, but I had no idea
when you were in San Francisco.
Yeah, in the conference, and I kind of tried to reach out to everyone, but I don't know if someone heard about it or not. Until today, I don't know. And until that year, I've been like developing things for 5 or 4 years.
Right.
Never got featured. Never got like anything from Apple. But going to the conference, meeting people, keeping some relationships. And when I released this, actually they promoted it. So it was like a little bit, it wasn't like a big deal. They promoted it only, used to be something called the iMessage App Store. Almost no one saw it, but it was some kind of appreciation from them.
Okay. So basically you think that the original or the networking you've done in the past made them notice the app exists. There's a slight chance that would happen.
For
or
sure.
that because you were so early on there, they just like saw it and said, okay, that's like a pretty focused product based on based on a new feature, and also like there's not much of a competition.
Yeah.
Like there's no really good image competition.
I think maybe that for me knowing them, they got to open the mail and all the other stuff
so
made them.
When you launch it, you send them an email saying, hey, I created this app, it's based on iMessage, check it out.
Yeah, like I tried to reach out to both Apple and the press. And I got, like, the press liked it too, Apple liked it too, and it was funny. Like, I still remember, like, I don't remember exactly which side, the next web or someone wrote, like, oh, and the funny thing, right before launching it, I started seeing what others launched for $1. I said, fuck it, can I say fuck it?
Yeah, you can say fuck it.
Fuck it all.
I said, like, fuck it, $1, I'll sell it for $2.
Yeah, it was $3 the stuff that I found in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like there was like Mario icons and stuff you could
like
put. It was like
some
$3, and I was like, fuck that! I'm not paying $3
So
for
that's
Mario.
what I changed it to $2, and then one site wrote, this app costs $2 and it totally works, something like that. So it got like some PR stories because people liked the fact that it cost money.
I like it how now these days when something like $2 it sounds a lot to a consumer when it goes to your phone, because people don't pay for apps and stuff like that up front so much. But $2 is like a cup of coffee, whatever.
No, $2 is fine. It's when there's subscriptions I get pissed.
No,
And
it really
forget that,
Momento is a subscription.
I paid $63
So watch
for
your
iGo,
mouth.
the GPS app, when iPhone was like just getting some apps out there, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. GPS, $63.
You still remember this?
It still burns, but it wasn't for me. I used my dad's account.
So I don't know. I think it really depends on what the service is. I'm okay with subscription. Depends on what you get. But but it's funny because say like $2 is totally worth it. Like as if you were buying now for like $100, and like is it worth it or not?
Yeah.
It's virtual. It's like
yeah, but
what's the value? Like what's the value? Also, you have like WhatsApp had, like, you have emojis, you have other things. Now they release these ones that you have from apps. To be honest, till now I haven't really found one that first of all, I don't use iMessage as much as people in the US, but I haven't found one that was like, oh, I need to have this. All the games give you free ones. I have like Rick and Morty icons and stuff, so I'm cool.
So I'm a sucker for stickers on Telegram. I have everything.
Oh, I don't have I hardly use Telegram.
Okay,
just for weed.
Just no, okay. So I think it's okay. So basically, the PR got traction just for costing money and being really good.
Yeah, and it's something new platform.
Right.
There was like some games, some stickers, but not an app to create stuff from your photos. It was like something original and people liked it.
But how was that to be featured back then? I mean, now being featured is like they have the whole page, where they have the articles, they write about you, they do all this stuff. Back then, was it really like that?
It depends. Some people are happy about what's today, some people are not. There's like a lot of conflict about it. Eventually, when you launch something, you have like 0 downloads, 0 users. It's very good, no matter where it is.
Yeah, who cares if someone's standing on the roof screaming your name? It's also good.
So it was like very good to kind of start. Eventually, it can't be your like only marketing channel. Eventually, it will be like something very small because they can't feature you every day. So they can feature you, let's say, once a month, top. So it's not a strategy. It's a nice to have.
Right.
Like, the beginning, it's important.
The biggest shout out that I heard for an app that really worked for me was, and I think they did it continuously, was The Verge with VascoCam, the app where they constantly push on like how it's
That's
the best
PR.
app. It's great.
But
I don't know if
no, it's like they're not.
they did it in their videos. They did it on articles. They did it on things. They had everything. all
Apple
over.
or The Verge?
No, The Verge.
No, so that's kind of PR versus
Yeah.
like what being sponsored by Apple. The Apple's thing, like featured into the App Store.
I get it.
But this actually, so this is this is the first really early days of the new version
Yeah.
through the iMessage being promoted by Apple a little bit. How do you
But we didn't
remember?
actually describe what it is so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're like still talking about how it
Yeah,
started
so
growing.
I can actually, it fits into the story. So the first version was detecting automatically some similar photos in your library and creating short GIFs from them.
Yeah. So for example, if you had like 4 pictures of you holding a dog, you picking up the dog licks your face, you throw away the dog saying "fuck, don't lick my face," then you have these 4 pictures. It's like and you get like a short GIF of
That's
you
such
lifting
a
a dog.
weirdly specific thing.
Strange.
Why do you have this
I don't
GIF?
know.
Is that
So
why?
only has-
He has this GIF.
No,
Yeah,
so I was
okay.
thinking about just the picking up the dog, and then I needed like the 4th frame
So you
for
just
my story.
You beat a dog.
No, you pushed it away.
This episode was brought to you by PETA. No,
No, you basically say no dog. When I say no, it means no, and you put the dog aside.
Okay.
What about image bursts? Just like
Let's
say
videos.
let's not talk about how Roy beats animals anymore.
Yeah, let's continue.
I have a dog which I love very much. She
So
was
it
never.
started like as
Yeah.
that, like a tool to create like cool GIFs from your photos. And it was only iMessage, and then I discovered I started to get feedbacks of people asking, okay, it's very cool, I want to edit it a little bit, add effects, music, share it in another place, and I kind of thought, oh, maybe there is. So remember Strobe, like it had $100. This time it had like way more, like thousands, almost like I think like the iMessage app had,
For
like,
the iMessage.
yeah, like had like I think $100,000, something like that. After
Now
like,
times 2 that, and you know how much money he made. No,
No,
Yeah,
so
well, yeah,
no.
different.
No.
No, it's actually I made it. Okay, so after some time,
he's
nobody
gonna get a lot of
in the
people asking
IRS
for
is
charity
listening.
right now.
I made it-
Gonna get a
I-
lot of
I
people.
made it
It's not
free
listening.
within a purchase. Like I discovered eventually that the $1, like $2, it was. I had like a call with some kind of VC, I don't know, and it said, "Oh, we have a fund, $1 billion, and blah blah blah, but." Can you send me a promo code because I just moved from Germany to the US. I can't actually buy apps. So then I thought, okay,
Oh man.
Yeah.
like selling
That's shady.
selling like something for $1. It's like a huge barrier for all kind of reasons, and I need to figure out like what to do else if I want to continue working on it. So
I'm not really fully understand the barrier here.
like
There's people
paying
that wanna-
upfront, paying
So I've
upfront.
heard like amazing stories about like I don't think it's accurate. There's like this weather app that literally says stuff to you very nasty. Like it's
Correct.
fucking raining outside.
Yeah.
God damn
Yeah.
it. Or like it's the type of day to go out in your bedroom and just sit there and masturbate all day. Stuff like that. They'll
Yeah.
write you this shit.
Yeah,
So the guy who made it like charged $1 and they had like 1 million downloads. And he like,
yeah.
Yeah, but
they're like, woo!
I think there's a big difference. I think people would pay a lot of money just to see that they're funny or entertaining versus utility.
But this
Yeah,
is what you
eventually-
do with it. You make funny and entertaining
No, I mean that it's like, oh, you want to it's.
to be entertained.
And I don't know if it's to be entertaining or just like to be the person who said, "Oh yeah, I paid for it, but check it out." It's like I'm so cool that I would pay for something that is useless. The weather app is useless. The $1 weather app.
Yeah, it's mostly about sharing it. You take a picture of yourself with that thing on it.
Yeah. So I think the
There are still paid apps, but they're less and less.
Yeah.
Weather may be like exception because weather is like everyone cares somehow
Yeah.
about the weather.
yeah, but there's so many good weather apps.
Yeah, there are a lot.
I always feel
I don't know
like
if
No,
it's
this
weather
one
is
specifically was because the
overappreciated.
gimmick and the thing was just hilarious.
weather
It's
apps.
a designer who's amazing and just said,
I don't
fucking
know.
hilarious.
Weather apps for me are always so overappreciated. Everybody share, talk. Oh, this is my favorite. Oh, why the fuck?
I didn't even use the filter anymore on that.
Yeah, no, it's like I don't know. It's cold. It's hot. That's it. Go outside.
If you're wearing
That's
a hat.
Okay, so iMessage, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So basically now it means that.
Wait, so you reduced the dollar? What is it worth now? Like how much do you pay for it if you want it? How do you get
We'll
it?
get to it eventually. It's
Because
the end
I'm
of the
dying.
story.
I'm dying to ask a question here because I use GIFs a lot.
Okay.
Like I use them in presentations. I use them in everything. I love it. And I actually make a lot for when I'm writing scripts or something. I give visual references according to movies and things. I remember the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, when you look at like Giphy, for example, they're focusing on creating the massive bank of GIFs, the biggest bank of GIFs available.
Mm-hmm.
You're going in somewhere else. You're saying, oh, I'm going to take the stuff that you have and give you more value from the things you have in your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's like your own. It's personalized. GIFs.
Yeah, but it was just an interesting thing to where
yeah,
you go with
so
this.
basically,
like,
I was saying that it started like a tool to create something from your stuff, but with time I discovered that more people, they want to actually like you, they want to create a GIF. They want to create a short video of something. Usually, it's kind of funny. Usually they're like a small business or like a store or influencer. They need to create content, but they don't want to buy a Mac, learn Photoshop. They want to create something fast on the go. So that's kind of, those are the users. So if you're a shop in Bangkok.
Is that really it? Small businesses? I would think that what it is young people want to have trending GIFs on their stuff.
This is a small business too.
Oh, okay.
Influencers on Instagram, it's a very
wow,
big in
that's
their store.
They're called teeny business.
No, they're huge. They're huge.
Jail time.
The influencers on Instagram, they make a lot of money.
No, I know that.
But that's interesting.
And they need to share a lot of stuff, and they don't. Some they have like a production team. It's huge.
No. I'm talking about individual people.
Yeah,
want to
but
just
it's
be able to
interesting.
make
It's interesting
posts
for me too because I've never heard anybody reference Instagram influencers as small businesses, which is interesting.
It's bigger than small business. You have no idea.
It's like a huge business.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I discovered that they kind of want to create. So with time, I added more editing features, music, trim, the boomerang thing, and people started to kind of. From just a tool to share GIFs, they started to actually be creative. And some people did like stop motion. Some people did like a way to showcase their work. I don't know, like a shop in Bangkok, store in Bangkok. And I keep saying like, it's kind of funny, like recently there are a lot of yoga teachers. So they promote, I don't know, like their yoga class. So
he watches this for hours.
No, I can't.
It's alright. It's cool, man.
I can't.
If
I don't have any
yoga
access.
people using stuff. I would.
But sometimes I see they tag on Instagram.
hashtag, okay.
Sometimes they email for support. So that's what I see.
Yeah.
And
that's interesting. How do you? Wow, that's interesting. Like you don't really have access to understand what kind of things people are creating.
But I find like there is like a huge community in Brazil with beauty things. So they use it a lot too. Brazil is actually a very good adapter of those apps.
Right.
Do you automatically hashtag whatever's produced with the
No,
thing?
it's impossible. Only
Wait, that's
Twitter.
what I'm used to.
Wait. I want to focus us for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, no, because I'm actually like totally into this, and I'm saying, big challenge here is trying to figure out what are these people, what are your crowd look like?
Wait a minute. Let's focus this for a second on more on marketing and how do you grow this, because this kind of comes into it.
Yeah, no, this is what I'm saying right now is a marketing thing. Like VascoCam had a thing where whenever you produced an image and you shared it from the app, immediately came with the hashtag VascoCam.
You had that.
And they used to do that, and then they stopped it actually
You
at one
can't,
point.
on Instagram they blocked it. Instagram is the main thing people share. And a lot share privately, but there's a watermark. We can get, like people see the logo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to recap. So first 100,000 downloads comes from the iMessage thing, and that store. Now, one thing you have here, Sign, is now a signal that it's interesting versus Strobe, which didn't have any downloads.
Exactly.
Now, like instantly, you have like a vital sign that that people are using it. But I'm guessing that plateaus really fast. Like
so the funny thing is, at the beginning, like many people bought it, and then.
So you went from paid to free.
I made it free within our purchases, and then more people downloaded it, but no one bought.
Okay, but you went from paid to free because a VC told you that's a barrier?
No, but I've seen it. Like I've seen people talking
comments.
about it, and I kind of thought, okay, maybe if I'll sell more stuff inside for more money, but make it free. That's kind of what the thinking.
Okay.
Eventually,
so you went from purchase to in-app purchase.
Yeah, but it was like a test. It worked a little bit. There is like the first I don't know, struggle or something. I don't know what to call it. But what happened technically, Apple didn't allow to add an app to iMessage app. You can do the other way. You can add iMessage app to an app or release both together.
Okay.
But because I released only iMessage app, basically all the users, I need to throw them away. That was my first thing that I discovered.
Why?
Because
when you build the app,
you'd have to build a new app.
Yeah, you need to build a new app with everything.
Okay.
So this was like a sad day. One of the.
Well, it's not that bad. In the end, you could. Well, no, I'm wondering
No,
if
but
you could
you-
advertise
you
it. on
lose
the
Yeah,
your-
but
message.
you lose like 75%.
Yeah, that was like
70%.
me on the first days for discovering this. And the app was almost ready. And I'm like, okay. And I emailed everyone, like Tim Cook, I don't know, everyone. And basically they told me, yeah, we know that it's our issue, but
fuck you.
we didn't think that, no, we
now
thought
it's
like
yours.
no one will do it.
Yeah, we don't like to see this as our issue as much
Yeah,
as
it's
it's your
mostly
issue.
your issue to
Yeah.
do it.
Because we're gonna stay ROI positive.
It's so funny.
And
It was
your
something
business
like
might
that.
not.
Remember you featured me? Well, I need your help.
Yeah,
No,
so
we-
actually, so this was the bad part of the story, but the good is the app, the full app with iMessage. It was already like version 3, but leave the version aside. But I released it. It was like few days before Christmas, 2016, and then a very interesting thing happened. You open the App Store in the US, you see the first like top banners were StarCraft. Or Super Mario, I don't remember. The second one was the other one.
Horrible Super
It was like Super Mario, Star Wars,
so bad.
and Momento. After that,
nice.
the whole Christmas, and after me was Demi Lovato. So
Wow, that's
That's,
good. So you were featured on like on the App Store for Christmas.
for all Christmas, it brought back all the 100,000 downloads.
Sounds like
Christmas miracle.
Team Class, Santa Cook.
So I don't know until now what happened again,
Right.
but
It's weird not to know the other sides of your stories. Like, it's like, I don't
Yeah.
know what happened. Well, start.
No, because they
I'm gonna
don't,
get fired out.
I guess you don't get a message from Apple saying, "Hey,
We fucked
Genady,
you, so we did
no,
the
like
thing."
Merry Christmas" with a GIF of Tim Cook.
again,
wing.
I think somehow
very nice.
it made them notice it, but then they liked it. You know, it's not.
Okay.
It's kind of a combination of.
So you got more like was that like a big thing for downloads?
Yeah, I think even until now, it was the best feature. Maybe Valentine's Day this year was
So
better.
yeah, you get featured a lot. Wait, let's talk
Yeah.
about this for a second. You get featured a lot because if I'm reminiscing everything, then you have like a app of the day, and then you have like image editing apps. You're always featuring like the essentials. And you actually, this is, I think, I don't know if it's a fun game, but we do it in almost every WWDC, because every time they launch a new phone or show an iPhone ad, you can see right there's they're like using the phone,
Yeah.
or in the ad they'll be like kind of swiping through, and you always see Momento India
Oh, really?
on their phone.
Yeah, and recently they had the education event, so they
Yeah.
had like the logo there.
It's like the Easter egg for
They
every
didn't use
Apple
it.
event.
I wanted them to actually use it. They used the calendar, but you see, I have like a half second of the logo and ads that probably
Yeah, I have
aired,
a friend who has like an app, and they really liked it and they really loved it, and I slowly hear these things about like it's in the background, you see Tim Cook's head, and then you see the logo
Yeah.
of their thing, and you're like, yay, and then. But I never really understand what the true value. Like, it sounds exciting. Like, if it happened to me, I'd be excited. But I don't know what the true value. And now I'm getting the
So-
idea from you that the true value is that it gives you a nice boost, but it's not a dependable
Yeah.
boost. It's like
Right.
just something that you turn around and go, oh, I just started an app. I need a huge amount of people to start understanding what's going on here, and then poof. Right?
So it's amazing for start, especially the big ones that I had back then. Now it depends. Like some countries are more like, I don't know, China, Russia is very big, US is very big. The other ones are less. So it depends where exactly. What you said before about the featuring all the time. So starting then, actually, I was trying to reach out and tell them, okay, thank you or something like that. It took me, so this is something that I keep saying, what people don't do. People ask me, oh, can you like send me this Apple guy? And sometimes the Apple guys like it and they agree to talk with them. And the developers, they send an email and never hear back.
Right.
So the truth is, I think I sent like 5 emails to one guy that I knew there. It wasn't really related, but after the fifth, it's like, oh, why are you sending this to me? This guy is in charge of those Photos apps. Talk with him. So it took me like 5 emails. And the funny thing is, this guy actually liked the app and used it. So this was kind of mind-blowing because the Apple guy that's in charge of Photos used it, but I just had no idea how to talk with him. And I was emailing the other guy that knew him, but after 5 emails only, kind of...
How did you decide who to email to begin with? Was it just somebody you knew, or did you do research?
Because at the beginning I knew someone, and he or she like left, and then gave me like another... It was like random, right. Someone related, but eventually they have like roles, so you can't like someone in charge of Photos, and that's all. So, right. But he knows all the other guys. So it depends if he wants to forward this email or not. Usually they won't answer, but I don't know, after like 5, you kind of, oh, you should talk with this guy. Like, right. What happened with the 4 other ones?
So basically a big strategy of any app developer should be really find the people that can help him within the system. Like go to LinkedIn, find like somebody who does like app reviews, and just kind of start.
Second thing, don't stop after first email.
What?
Second thing would be don't stop after first email. And
still,
then, do you use humor or anything in these emails, or no, not at all?
No, I'm actually...
Just very technical. This is the size of the app.
I think I'm... So if someone asks me for an intro, my intros are the shortest in the world. They're like, enjoy. That's all. Like,
yo.
It's like, no, because you tell both the people that you're going to make an intro. You don't need to write all the stuff.
I always like doing it if I'm like, I now place you together.
No, so I have like one... I'm like, hi, enjoy. Something like that.
Nice.
And so again, so somehow I manage. So you don't send them just emails with fun things. You send them, okay, you released iMessage apps, and now I'm supporting it. Here is a GIF or a video of it. Here is what's the top features.
It's like a small press release for them.
Yeah, here is what I'm going to do next month. You describe, and this is, you kind of need to tell them why they will like it, you know.
Do you think there's a tactic to stay on their good side? Because this first, like if they kind of like you,
5 emails.
Yeah, if they kind of like you or think it's nice, then they're like, oh, that's cool, they're sending me updates. But if they don't like you, then it's probably like, let's blacklist that idiot.
Yeah, but again, like I didn't send it to someone random. I kind of got, someone told me you need to send it to him.
Right.
He is now temporarily, I don't know, it was something like that. So it wasn't, and I sent like once a month, like every big release. So it wasn't like too much. And, you know, eventually, this is, I don't know if it's like all Americans or only Apple. You send them emails, most of the time they won't reply.
Yeah.
They read them. You need to have a...
Maybe they're dyslexic like me. That's why I don't reply.
No, but think about it. This is the guy that like, he gets like 1,000 emails a day, pitching some kind of
yeah, he's busy, like he has like...
If it's good, he will forward it to who's needed. If not, he will just remove it. But there's nothing, if you don't, this is important thing in general, if you send an email without a question, don't assume someone...
An answer ever. Yeah.
So you need to have like a...
Like a call to action.
Very like...
Are you the relevant person for this?
Yeah. Even
and if not, would you mind
I actually guess that, are you the relevant person for this? I think that's actually a really good question. Because if they're not, they actually feel responsible now.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because like wait.
That's why I said to my parents, who's getting my birthday present? Are you responsible for this?
No, because that's actually a good question because it's really easy for them to say, oh, not me, forward.
Yeah.
And it's like an easy task to make, or just like yes, I'm responsible.
I'm wondering. I know this is a weird thing to think about, but I'm thinking like as a marketer and as generally a funny person, I would try to do the most crazy, funny shit possible to get whoever is getting its attention.
Right.
And then I'm wondering if they just usually see a lot of emails from developers and they're just like, oh, specs. Like that's what they're used to. They're just like, oh, I just want to see specs. I don't want you to do some weird thing.
No, but they have. I don't know. Like I've seen some of them, but they have like a template for how to pitch them now. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's something. I don't know who invented it.
Like I think you should usually kind of break. That's
the thing. So that's what I was saying. Like in my head, I'm thinking, oh, break away. But then they might be.
No, but a little bit.
But this is like very basic. Price, name, languages you support, and what's new. So what's new, you put all the stuff. But they just want to have like some.
And they probably get like every once in a while they probably get like a direction saying this, and we're looking for more apps to do this and this, and then they go into what's new.
So especially when they release new iOS version, they have like some things they focus about.
Yeah.
And you will notice, if you watch the keynote, you will notice this. You just can check the time that anything got.
Mm-hmm.
And what got most time, it's the most...
That's right. Okay, so if you're an
This is
app...
funny. I was like thinking he's probably wrote a program for this somewhere. And like, you want to know what features to bank on?
It's just in my back mind.
Okay, so what I like about this
It's so weird that
conversation
that's how you
is
watch
that...
it. I usually watch it going, where the fuck are my new earphones? But you apparently watch it going, oh, that's about 3 minutes. No one gives a shit about that product.
Yeah. So no iPhone this year. Okay.
Yeah. We're just going to show the commercial and then we're going to go on to some other feature.
Right. Yeah. It was that so unimpressive they had to pull out Johnny Ive. Okay, no, that's actually product stand by itself.
Yeah, there he is. Freezing.
The guy is dead for 5 years. Man. Right. The guy is dead for 5 years.
I saw him. He's alive.
They pre-recorded him introducing every product they can think of, and it's basically just use an iPhone version.
Yeah, they just remember. He goes, most revolutionary iPhone we've ever created. They're just like, let's just cut that from the old ad and stick it.
Yeah, they have a sampler.
Yeah, it's the button.
The Johnny Ive generator. Anyway, so no, what I love about this conversation is that I think most app developers would just say like, how do you spend money on media? And what you're saying right now, I think it's kind of intuitive, but so not intuitive. I think like most app developers would not actually take the time to build the relationship with Apple or like the real people at Apple. They would just kind of submit the app, send support tickets, and they would never go and see who the people are and actually have the personal connection, which I think here played a huge role because you have people saying like, oh, I like this app, I like this person. If we can kind of give him any prompts, if you can just like say something nice or promote the app in just a small way, they'll do it because you're on their radar.
Yeah.
Versus just like the regular emails, regular guidelines, regular structure that they kind of can use or ignore.
Yeah, but as a marketer, I could never really give that advice. Like, I can't give that advice to someone who says to me, okay, I built an app, and I'm like, great, go to an Apple convention, make something really cool, and make some friends.
Why? I think that's
I'd be like,
I think that you can definitely build this into a marketing strategy, saying, start with LinkedIn, see who are the people who work at the Apple review, right? Or like Apple employees or like review apps.
It's not a review, it's more the App Store guys.
Yeah. I would just like take everybody that I can. I would start following them on LinkedIn, Twitter, check out what they're doing slowly, like, comment, and like kind of.
You wouldn't blast them with marketing?
No, not at the beginning. And then I will try and find a kind of easy or interesting conversation I can jump into, or maybe, I'll just kind of ease my way to them seeing my name, and then I'll send the email. Yeah. It's like
you still need a good product for them to actually care about.
No, that's bullshit.
But eventually, like even good products, it's hard to
right. So getting the attention for a good product.
You need like a little bit of attention and a good product. That's kind of the story.
So I want to tackle you. So we have relationship with the Apple folks to get featured, which you basically said it's like a really good boost, but it's not a strategy for the long run. Until you get really good brand, I guess. No.
Yeah. So.
Like Evernote, I guess, is mostly brand these days.
What we can say, what I can say is, the first year it helped a lot because it brought like the early adopters, like some people that actually cared. But about a year ago, I decided, okay, it's nice, it's making some money, but it's not a business. And then, actually, I kind of looked who is using it, and I saw, okay, small brands, businesses. They can pay money. It's not a big deal for like a shop to pay money. And then about a year and something ago, I decided, okay, I should switch to subscription. By the way,
son of a bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man.
And kind of try pricing because if I sell it for one time, or if I sell it for a low price, acquiring a user is very expensive. It won't be sustainable. Like, eventually, I will have some users and they won't get value because I can't afford updating it.
Right, it's like $14 per user through, media apps, and then you basically, they pay $1 for the app. So you're actually losing $13 per user.
So this is kind of the math because it's very expensive to acquire the users. So you want to make sure they're paying at least that. And the last year, it was until now it was kind of figuring out this strategy. This is still like the ongoing process, but for me to understanding that this is the market, it helped me to kind of build features for them. So for example, one feature is now being able to upload the custom watermark. So if you have your own stuff,
like
you
your
can
own
use
logo.
it. Yeah. So this is like example. It's still early days, but this is like an example. And eventually, this is like another funny story. So I decided a strategy. I thought, okay, I need to release a big version and then change the pricing. And I said, you know what? Let's change the pricing. It used to be like $4 for some features. Let's do $5 a year and see what happens. And everyone told me like, oh, it won't work. No one will pay. And I still remember like people if you go on Twitter now, you still see developers like no one will pay subscriptions. Like people don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, this is basically. And I switched the plug like $5 a year. People are buying same amount. And then, okay, let's do 10.
But now it's actually making money.
What?
But now it's actually making money.
No, it's the same. People used to pay $4 one time. Now they pay five a year. It's almost the same for the people, but it's a big difference in terms of the company.
Right.
And then I said, okay, people are paying. The other apps are like more expensive. Let's try $10. Same amount, keeps paying.
Okay.
And then and again, no one will pay that. What are you doing? You're crazy. You will ruin yourself.
So basically, it means that people like if it's $10.
But wouldn't you test that in like with tiny movements? Like kind of go, hey guys, offering the full bundle for.
It depends on how much
this.
traffic you have.
Yeah, I still had not a lot of traffic, and for me, I was thinking, okay, now I need to decide: is it a business or a side project? Okay, and I said I'm doing a business here. I will grow it as much as I can, and if not, I'll do consulting or something else because. I need to figure it out. That was kind of my thinking. And so it's been like 10, worked, $15, okay, 24 still. And then when the current price is $36 a year, everyone like, no one said like, oh, it won't work. People like, oh, good job, congrats. Like, everyone is doing it now, but no one believed in this thing a year ago. So it's kind of funny to see this. Eventually, the conversion drops a little bit, but it's
worth it.
9 times more the money. Eventually, what you can discover from how I see the things, it's like a kind of impulse buy, mostly in the US, but and
it's like somebody really enjoying it for the first time. They're like, I want to get it forever. $36.
And if it's a small business, they don't care. Like they even more will pay more. Like it might be like even better for them to kind of there is something here. It's not
because
cheap.
they also feel that now they're getting something that their competitor might not be using. It's like paying for Canva. It's like $12 a month, and people are doing it.
I would never. No, I'm just kidding.
So we're paying for Canva.
No, I'm just.
So this is kind of the mindset, and I feel it's people arrive. If you go to eat ice cream, you're in the store, you will buy, right? That's kind of the thinking. So people download the app, they see it's cool, they need it for the business, they will buy. Now
so
they have
a business, like influencers, Instagram influencers is business.
Yeah, it's more business than
most businesses. So, because we're running a little bit out of time, I want to ask you a few more questions. So, what's your how much are you looking or trying to find out what your users are doing in order to improve the product? And like, how do you do that? Because you don't have access to the content itself.
So in the beginning, it was very easy because there were only like a few features, and people keep asking stuff. Actually, the best things that people buy, it's the things that people asked.
Right.
So the algorithm creates automatically the GIFs, but if you want to create something manually, it's a paid feature. And at the beginning, I thought, who will want it? It's all automatic. Why will you want to do it by yourself? But what happened, the editor had like some amazing features, and people said, oh, it's cool, but now I want to create something by myself. And it was like 9 out of 10 requests, and when I launched it, people are buying this thing. Basically, this is one of the
interesting. So that's how you increase conversion for revenue.
So people started like to ask so many things that I got basically the roadmap for like few years. Now there are so many things that people don't ask anything, even if they want. So, but I get some requests, and it's kind of funny. Like until recently, it's been like, so the past year. Basically, was doing a lot of optimization for conversions. I started to do a lot of ads
focusing on revenue.
Like revenue, growing revenue. It's this is an interesting number you can notice. Next year, hopefully, we'll hit 100,000 paying subscribers.
Wow.
That's
Nice.
kinda,
Do the math, people.
That's kind of the...
Wow.
So people ask questions, you know what features to add.
Yeah.
How do you know when to take features off?
Okay, so now I have a story from like this month. So the past year, I didn't like write a lot of code. I was like focused about marketing, business, finance, like all kind of shit. And
No, I like that.
No, it's important to
then-
say, by the way, that this whole process like a 1 to 3 people operation.
yeah, till recently it was only me.
Yeah, it's not like a crazy,
now I have
50
someone that is
people.
doing-
No. I like that.
I have a developer that is doing
For me, it's the
Android.
shit, too.
Android is something that people told me it will never work, no one will buy. I'm proving it they're wrong. We'll see. It's still early, but
Okay, that's cool.
yeah, it's like few people. Hopefully we'll grow a little bit. So I didn't write a lot of code, and I tried to use the app like a month ago or something, and I like, what the fuck? It's not usable. This is slow. Stickers are hard to gesture, and I kind of took most of the requests that were like actually real ones, and the next version from next week is going to fix many of those things. So some things that I added make everything very slow. It made it cool but slow, but no one actually used those cool like most of those cool things, no one used them.
Yeah.
So I took some things off. 2.5 people complained.
Right.
2.5.
Screw them.
2.5. No, like
But it
Like
made the app
it
better.
was so cool.
Wait,
you
are you
can
saying
take
it was a
you
small
take a
person?
photo of you take a GIF of you, and it will do a filter only on your body. Okay, this is very cool, but three people complain about it.
Okay.
So, but it made the app 10 times faster for everyone
Right.
when I removed it. So now, actually, I improved many things. Something else that is coming next week is Halloween special.
Oh, yeah.
So this is something like, for
Halloween.
example, it's actually, I heard, I think, from JoyTunes. There is always holiday or something somewhere around the world. Create something relevant to that.
Right.
They promote you. Like they want to promote something for Halloween. So this is something that I'm kind of trying to push. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, Chinese New Year.
So like always focusing on events, like some.
Yeah, this is
This
is like an easy.
because that's how you also like can get easier PR.
Yeah,
Right. Because
and people love it if they want to share. It's like
Right.
relevant.
So
But there's a thing, again, we spoke about how you're removing some stuff, but
Yeah.
there's this thing with apps where they keep adding and adding and adding, and then it just becomes complex for the first-time user. So
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's
like
hard to.
the way that I would see, like, I'm guessing that you would do this. I don't have an app, but would be, okay, my core feature is this, and everything that you have around it is all the extras, and then you say, okay, these are the 3 that people really love, and all the rest are, fluff. And then you say, okay, the fluff I can kind of switch out in and out, going, it's kind of like Snapchat filters that they had in the beginning. That one with the rainbow vomit and thing was like super cool, and now you hardly see it anymore. They kind of like placed it there, and then they said, oh, everyone's using it, we'll move it out. They'll bring it back in a couple of months, and they'll have that.
Right.
And they kind of like play with what features are where.
Yeah, so last Christmas I removed some things and added Christmas stuff, and people complained, why did you take the hearts? And people, it depends.
we're like,
I'm-
that's some
I'm
holiday
playing around.
spirit, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Holiday spirit.
I'm playing around, like I'm removing some stuff, seeing the feedback, bringing it back, adding things. And the idea is there aren't so many like features in the app, but because too many features will make you
No,
will
it's
lose
all-
yourself.
Yeah, of course.
But you're still like your photos are still the focus. So you take your photos and you add like few effects and you're done. So that's kind of the mindset. So most of the people, they use like a little bit of it, but still like most of the things are used.
I like that
enough.
sentence that you said. Your photos are the focus.
Yeah.
The reason why I like that because it's just when I spoke about Giphy before, those other ones that that you find with these massive banks of GIFs. You're saying the difference between us and Giphy is, your photos are the focus. That's the
it's a tool for you to create something from your photos. So still, you take 2 people, they have the same features, same effects, but they will create totally different things because they have
it's about
their
having
photos and their,
unique
It's a
content.
It's a content creation tool versus just like a GIF.
No, but you could even in some places would turn around and say, okay, you made a GIF, great. You want to add it into our bank of GIFs that anyone can use.
No, it's okay. It's
But you're
not-
turning around saying you're not. That's not the focus. The focus is create your own unique.
Yeah,
content
you create
with
your
own
stuff, and you're the center there. It's not because sometimes there are like apps that they help you add effects, and all the photos look the same, right?
Right.
So that's not the idea. Is the effects are kind of gives your photos like give you some creation like the creation
boosts
mind.
your content basically.
Yeah, but
and
it's
not
not
takes over your content.
like the idea is never kind of make a filter that will make all the photos look the same. That's
right.
That's not
Besides from the Apple Store, what's your next best traction or growth channel?
the best. So what now I'm doing a lot is search ads. So this is something that Apple launched a year ago.
App Store search
Yeah.
ads? Okay.
And they are actually good and bad because you compete against keywords. So what happened with looking what users do, I discovered what they search for, and then I can kind of bid for those keywords. The thing is, it's enough that someone else bidding on these keywords and he has like more money,
Right.
it will kill you.
Right.
So it's working. It's still it's good. It was like a good first thing to do, but you must find the next thing. So currently, actually, the focus is Facebook.
Facebook ads?
Yeah, Facebook ads. The thing there, you don't compete against someone. You compete against everyone. So you just need to have like a good creative, and you won't be like your competitors can't actually make your bids higher. So this is and the market is huge. This is the next.
So for you, so basically up until now, the focus was really like leveraging Apple Store and getting features, etc. And some virality from like the watermark, hashtags to Twitter and stuff
this
like
is
that.
like when you have no money at the beginning.
Yeah.
But later, when I started to charge money, I had money to pay for the users, and then
So you started doing some ads.
this is actually like a lot of people come to me for advice, and they say, okay, we have a free app. We want now 50,000 users. I'm telling them it's like $50,000 to $100,000. Best chance, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you want, start charging something. At least, okay, maybe you'll make 40 out of those 50 back.
Right.
Charging few dollars. Maybe you can like somehow figure this out. So that's kind of important. Like if you charge up front, like if you charge money at the first days, you have money to pay for the users.
It's interesting because a lot of the companies that develop apps that are funded by VCs or backed by VCs, then they jump through that conclusion. What they do is that they actually spend a lot of money on downloads, but they actually have no revenue model to actually make that money back in any way.
So it depends. It depends exactly on the type of apps. Tools are more paid, but now with subscription, it's changing. You know, like you know the best. You know which money makes the most money. Which app makes the most money?
Which one?
Tinder. Tinder they make like $20 or $30
How
million
does Tinder make
$30
money?
million a month.
Are they
sex, man.
are they like
I don't know. You
sex.
get you
are they
get
affiliated with your ex?
no, you get
STD
you get
centers?
more swipes or like you get more info or something like that. Actually, I know the revenue guys there. They're living. If you want to see how to make money, download Tinder, and then copy what they did. That's
Is that why people use Tinder? Is it
I don't know.
They want to make money.
They're all marketers.
No.
Just trying to
Is
figure it
Tinder a
out.
marketer?
If you're an app developer and you want to make money,
I
download
can't believe
Tinder.
it.
Okay.
You copy the
So
features.
I just want to point out that when my wife asked me why I have Tinder on my phone, I'm blaming him. That's what's happening.
It's
Okay,
okay.
cool.
It's
It was research. He told me.
So some apps make money. Subscription is very good way because I see about subscription. I want to say something. I see some competitors of mine. They have subscription. Last update a year ago. This is not like
that's
what's
a
good.
douchey thing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
You have a subscription. You need to update every 2 weeks, a month maybe.
Right.
That's kind of
I'll tell you where it came really sleazy for me. It was when Facebook starts advertising millions of apps at you all the time, and they're like, my kid goes, "Oh, I'd like to have a ringtone," and then he goes on, and then it's all of a sudden like, a subscription, and it doesn't give you any value or anything. It's just like subscription.
There are a lot of scams now.
Yeah.
There is like in one app, you open it and they say, okay, put your finger to authenticate locking photos, and then they show the pop-up to sell, and they sell you a subscription for $100 a week.
Oh my god.
So I don't know how this passed.
So yeah, the
review.
$100 a week stuff. That's kind of.
So there are like many things like that. I feel like $30-$40 a year is a good price. Still, a lot of people ask refunds. A lot of people cancel. A lot of people forget. People don't renew.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of hidden in the app. Like in the
It
app.
is,
Not-
actually.
It's in the app, so it's very hard to cancel. Like you
It's
don't
not
remember.
in the settings. You have to go into
It's
like security.
it's Apple's fault.
Yeah, this is
I
Apple's
know,
fault.
but the Apple, when you send that email going, everyone's suing me, Apple, it's your fault. They'll be
No,
like,
they
your problem now.
their first goal is to make money. So
Yeah, no.
By the way, it go at the Play Store. If you remove an app, it will ask you if you want to. It's
I know.
very.
Yeah, I
it's
heard
more. It's more straightforward to cancel, and the developers can cancel and give you a refund. Apple doesn't give you anything, so people complain and they want money back. You can't do anything.
To start kind of concluding, so I
First
think-
of all, first thing is it's awesome to be a developer because apparently every little problem in his life, he's just like, you know what? I'll build an app.
I'll just build an app for that.
There's so many old people, they're so pissed on the bus. I'm building an app.
No, but I think there's a lot of lessons here for a solopreneur who is not who's not VC backed, because again, when you get money from VC and you raise $2 million, $3 million, it's super easy to come and say, okay, I need an agency that can push media out, just buy tons of ads and get some traction.
Yeah.
But what you have here is like you're actually, first of all, you understood that your product is interesting just by seeing it fail once and then get massive amount of downloads the second time. So you understood you actually were able to fix a problem that was there. Second thing is that you understood early enough that relationships matter in order to get some attention or just to get your foot in the door. And that includes just like getting them to know your name, the WWDC Parties app, doing the follow-ups, understanding they're busy, and it's not like, I sent an email, they said nobody answered me, then Apple doesn't work or app stores don't work. It was you, I think, understanding that if there's a new, and I think that was super interesting, if there's like a new feature or a new part of a product they want to push or they want to promote, or like help them help you by jumping on that opportunity and find a gap. It's like saying, okay, nobody's using touch bar yet on the Mac. I'll add whatever shit I need to have a touch bar thing on my Mac.
Yeah, make sure it's
Okay,
like
maybe not
it's
that,
useful.
not exactly.
It's
No,
useful.
it has to be a good
No, I get it.
It should be
example.
useful a little bit. It shouldn't be like the best thing you ever did.
Yeah,
Right?
it just have to be
start.
like have value and like be one of the first. And then we had like the virality part with the watermarks and the hashtags. So you had get like a social proof when people use it, listening to what your you like actually using user feedback.
This is so listening to user feedback is actually part of the product market fit. It's actually there was a
Right.
product and I was searching for a market for it. By listening to what they do and how they do,
Right.
I kind of found a market for that and kind of figure out the pricing and everything.
Kind of
Right.
funny because he's one guy doing it.
Yeah.
So in most companies, that shit gets lost somewhere in the
But,
funnel of like.
but by
nothing
the way,
to
this
do.
is important lesson from all the startups that I worked. Too many people.
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
people.
100%.
Too many people. No one's getting the right information.
Too many
right now.
processes before actually getting value off a process.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I have this like working now. We have some really big clients, and so our model is like we either help you execute or we do the work. So we either go and kind of manage the process for you, or that we actually do the work for you. And our team, which is like leaner, is like we have a project, like a content marketing project, like A to Z of content marketing. 4 people in my team are doing the whole thing: webinars, podcasts, email nurturing, content, whatever. And on the other company, they have a team of 15 people, and like it took them 4 months to get what we did in like a month, because nobody's agile. They have to have meetings and presentations and re-talk about it, rethink about it.
I remember like one time we had a fight over the button should be like red or green for a week.
Yeah, I know it's
Crazy.
like fucking just push it
It's
out.
important, but you can iterate later. And another time, like deciding what to. I don't know. Eventually, it's
Yeah, so
and don't get me wrong. Like eventually, the you said about like $1 million. You eventually you pay it. Like there is no way to build a product less than I don't know like $1 million.
right, you need it. Eventually,
Like
you
I'm
need the
spending
money.
this money now, but at least I'm getting it back from the user. So that's
Right.
kind of the.
Right, and also
I like how this story just went from social, meet people, greet people, talk to people, and then we're like
Eventually,
less social, have only one employee, fuck people.
eventually
They take time.
no,
it's a matter of productivity.
I'm not sleeping. That's another secret.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you come to my
You look good
office,
for someone who doesn't
you
sleep.
see
Yeah.
pile of coffee.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
but I think
not
most.
Yeah, most people are not sleeping and not making money. So
Yeah, so like you're on the good side.
Yeah.
So go now. So for Twitter, Instagram, it's Momento GIFs. If you want to follow.
Yeah, on Twitter it's Momento GIFs one word. On Instagram it's Momento.gifs.
Okay. And go to the App Store right now. Download Momento GIFs. And you know what? It should be funny and fun if you actually do a picture and send it to us.
Hashtag it also so he can see who's using it.
And I will send you a sticker.
Oh yeah.
Oh snap!
I have a sticker on my
I did
computer.
not get a sticker.
Well,
I will give. If you download, I'll give you.
I actually downloaded it before I knew you were coming.
So
Not even
yeah.
like just a couple weeks ago, and I was told Roy, I was like, "Hey, I'm using this app." He's like, "Pay money."
I said like, don't be cheap.
Yeah.
Use the product.
Use the product.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us and coming here.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
I think there's so much insights here for people
No, it's
developing
super,
apps.
super interesting.
And I think it's the things that most people don't really talk about. They usually talk about like the scale-up systems. Nobody's gonna ever talk about how they did a relationship thing, because it's not like something you can duplicate necessarily. But it's an approach I think everybody should understand, especially when building like a really start project.
But again, I keep seeing people, they get the intro, they get the knowledge of them, but they don't follow up. They don't like.
Yeah, they don't do the work. It's like when somebody says, "Hey, does anybody know a good developer, good graphic designer?" And everybody on Facebook and everybody are tagging that person, and that and like the person, instead of like actually saying, "Oh, I was tagged on somebody looking for what I'm doing," and send them a message, they kind of say like, "Thank you."
You'd be proud of me. I immediately write back. Give me your money.
I just send an invoice.
No, it depends if you want or not. But if you want,
Yeah, no. If you don't want
one email, check out see what's going.
Right.
It's like email etiquette, people.
Look, even for me, I get no reply, 1 of 5 or 10. Like, but they read it, they do something with it. It's true, by the way, for all the emails I send.
If there's no restraining order, you should keep sending those emails. That's
Till
my.
they mark you as spam.
No,
that was my early version of Tinder.
You know, someone made an intro. They want to talk with you.
Right.
It's usually not out of nowhere.
Right.
You know?
It does have priorities in their business.
Yeah.
Cool. So guys, as always, comment, review, share, like, subscribe.
Give us your firstborn babies.
Buy an Amazon Prime, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, do whatever you want. But
go watch.
Keep listening.
Yeah, and watch BoJack Horseman, the new season.
Really?
We're sponsored by Netflix now.
Oh, okay. Also, we're actually sitting at Rise, and we should probably mention that they sponsor our episodes, and that's why we're going to run a ad right now. Are you a serious fintech company? And by serious, I mean, do you sit at a co-working space for fintech companies? Well, if not, get your shit together. I mean, come on. Only serious fintech companies sit at Rise. Rise, co-working space for fintech companies. Serious ones.
I think that was not as good.
It was not. It was not good.
Also,
but you know what?
Also, I hardly think that somebody listened after we said review and things. That's where you.
Nah, I kind of just said, hey, we'll just throw this in there.
Okay.
It's a surprise ending with an ad.
It's a surprise ending for all of us.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.